Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Steve Peterson and these are a few of my Hyundai Velosters. Today was supposed to be an install day on the fix and flip Veloster. It was supposed to be suspension parts, all of the shocks and struts and control arms and all of that stuff for the black car here. I've got it up on jack stands, I got the wheels off, started inspecting some stuff. Well, I realized how rusty and worn out. Hey Fuzz, what's up, dude? I realized how rusty this car is. I was able to get a much better look at the subframe and all of the parts in here. And now, obviously, I was going to replace the struts. The sway bar links were going to get new. The rotors, pads, and the control arms. Well, I started looking at where the control arms bolt to the subframe, and really looking at the whole subframe like underneath, and I realize how rusty the subframe is on this car. It's in rough shape further underneath. So here is a shot from underneath. You can see the subframe on this car is kind of in rough shape. Now I've sprayed some PB Blaster on a lot of the bolts and things like that over here on this side, so that's what's dripping and what looks wet, but you can just see the subframe is not really the prettiest on this car. The subframe on the parts Veloster is in much better condition. Here you can see overall and how much less rust and what better condition the subframe is on this car. As you can see, virtually no rust on the 40,000 mile subframe here. Much better condition. So what I think I'm going to do is take the whole subframe off the 40,000 mile car here. I was stripping this car down anyway for parts, so it just kind of makes sense to pull that subframe out. I had no reason to keep it anyway, and throw that into the fix and flip car out here. So that's kind of the change in plans. Originally, I was just going to replace suspension stuff. I was going to use all of these low miles parts off the parts Veloster up front there to fix this car. You know, again, 160,000 miles. I figured let's try to make it run and drive the best I can so that when I go to sell it, I'm not selling someone a piece of junk. Well, this just kind of goes along with that. Looking at that subframe and going, you know what, I don't want to sell the car like this. I have the parts, why not use them? So I promised you all a test drive in the fix and flip Veloster. This is 160,000 miles on what I believe is all original stock suspension. The strut mounts are kind of blown out. The struts themselves seem to be kind of junky. The shocks are definitely garbage. Pretty much all of the suspension on this car is just trashed. The brakes are heavily grooved. The pads are grinding and rubbing a little bit as well, so just lots of issues all around. Sit tight on this little test drive and listen. Yes, that was a county sheriff sitting there on the side of the road. Definitely shit my pants a little bit. This car is not registered, nor do I have plates on it, so driving this car anywhere was kind of a risk, but I wanted to get this video for you guys so you can see how bad it was. So I got you in close here to talk about all of the suspension components that I was originally going to replace, what parts came off of the 40,000 mile car, and what parts I bought new and why, just to kind of give you an idea of what you might look for some worn components on your own car or Hyundai Veloster. The Veloster, the suspension is on the cheaper side. It's all very easy to replace and easy to fix. So I don't necessarily mind the components being on the cheaper side just because of how easy they come apart. So first things first, I took the rotors off of the parts car. These rotors have about 40,000 miles on them. They were not grooved up. They weren't worn or warped in any way. They just have some surface rust going on. So I hit them with like a wire brush and a drill, as you've seen in some of my previous video, and basically clean these rotors up. These rotors are in great shape, front and rear, much better than the rotors that are on the fix and flip car for sure. The rotors that are on that car are very grooved up. There are some places where the pads were dragging and grinding in them and just really beating that car up. I also have found that the calipers on the fix and flip car are junk, so that is another thing that I'll be taking off the 40,000 mile car and reusing for parts as well. I'm pairing these used rotors with a set of front and rear ceramic pads from R1 Concepts. This is a set of pads that I've had sitting on a shelf for quite a while now. I bought them as a spare set back when I used to autocross my show car. In the early years, I used to autocross and do some mild track days, and found that it was essential to have a set of extra brakes laying around at all times. So this is just a set of pads and rotor pads that I've had for quite a while. I figured why not use these instead of spending more money on new parts. So these are front and rear from R1 Concepts. Here are the rear, and here are the front. There you go, R1 Concepts, ceramic pads. These work great on the OEM rotors. Next, you'll see here, I'm going to tip the camera further back. I have a pair of quick struts here from Monroe. There's a nice shot of your left and right part numbers. You'll see the 799 and the 800. Monroe quick struts. And quick struts are fully assembled, ready to install strut assemblies. So you get the full strut. You basically, like the whole picture is here. You get a strut with a spring and the boot and the mount. It's all pre-mounted and ready to install on the car. It's hence why they call it a quick strut. I feel like this is just the way to go when it comes to replacing struts on these cheaper import cars. It's usually cheaper to buy strut assemblies this way, and it saves you a lot of time when it goes to installing. Just my suggestion. The next thing over that I did buy new was the sway bar end links for the front. I went with the Suspensias. These are from Rock Auto. The left and the right are the same part number. There you go. I went with these just because they're cheap. I want to say, gosh, I don't know, $15 a piece, maybe something like that. I have used Suspensia sway bar links on multiple other cars before. They're pretty reasonable as far as the quality versus price and what you get. They typically fit all OEM replacement situations for your model and make, and it's just kind of a cheaper route than going OEM in my opinion. Again, it's a sway bar link, super easy to change if it does get worn out. Okay. Next order of business we have here, I have a set of the stock rear shocks. These are Hyundai rear shocks, 553002V050. And these again these are a pair of OEM shocks. These have, I don't know, like 40,000 miles on them as well. So why not throw new shocks on the car, or at least better condition shocks compared to the ones that are on the car. These are in great shape. The bushing here at the top and the bottom is not worn or cracked or damaged in any way. You can see there's the bottom bushing, and then there's the top bushing. So when your struts start wearing out in these bushing areas, you'll start seeing stress cracks in the rubber. usually it's the shock portion that wears out first. Next order of business here are the tie rod ends. Now, these are the original OEM tie rod ends off of the parts Veloster. You'll see there's your Hyundai Kia logo there. This is a little rusty, but nothing that's going to cause any impedance to its use. The important part here is this ball joint and this rubber boot. The rubber boot looks to be in great condition. It's not cracked or dried out or worn. You can move the joint around still kind of smoothly, kind of like a joystick. It should be tight. A brand new one of these, you will not be able to move this much at all, if any. A broken in one, usually you can move it around like I am, but it'll be very tight, like this one still is. A worn out one is going to have some play. It's going to be very loose and sloppy. This boot might be torn, and once this boot tears, the grease that is inside there starts getting squeezed out, and that joint gets ruined faster. So these are in pretty good shape. I'm going to throw these on the fix and flip car just because these are in much better condition than the ones that are on there. With all that being said, we move on to the control arm portion of this presentation. So the driver's side control arm off of the parts car was in good shape. Nothing really notable. The bushings here and here are in good shape. Typically, on most cars, this big hockey puck looking bushing is the one that wears out first. The rubber starts getting hard and brittle and starts stress cracking, and once it cracks, it tears, and then you have all kinds of problems. This back bushing does the same. It dries out and starts cracking, but usually isn't the issue. It's not a big culprit. Here is your number one problem on most control arms on most cars, the ball joint. Since this is a lower control arm, is a lower ball joint, and this ball joint basically is the main, hub component for the entire steering knuckle. So your whole wheel bearing, hub, knuckle assembly all sits on this ball joint and rotates off this ball joint. And what happens is the rubber boot here on the ball joint tears over time, and the grease that's inside squeezes out, and now that joint is no longer lubricated and it wears out quickly. A good ball joint should be very tight. You shouldn't be able to move it very much at all. These are replacement ball joints that I found for the Veloster control arms here. Now, most people would just say, hey, why didn't you just buy a whole new control arm? Okay, well, I could have bought a whole new control arm. They're not that expensive. But I have access to a press and was able to press a ball joint out of the control arm very easily, and I was able to get a pair of ball joints for very cheap from Rock Auto. Again, this was a Delphi product, TC2664, and basically I pressed the old ball joint out of the control arm after removing the snap ring with some snap ring pliers, and pressed a new ball joint into the control arm, as you can see, and it even came with a new, nylon lock nut and everything. So, this ball joint was actually still good. Obviously, I damaged it completely, by pressing it, but this ball joint was originally still good. The boot was just torn, and I didn't want that grease wearing out, and I would have to replace a ball joint anyway. So, again, just keeping up with the quality of the car when it comes to reselling it, it just made sense. It wasn't that much of an extra step for me to put a ball joint in on the other side as well while it was out. So left and right lower control arms now have brand new lower ball joints for when I put all of this stuff back together. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. I will be removing the whole subframe assembly from the parts car and prepping it to swap onto the fix and flip Veloster. That includes the steering rack as well as the sway bar assembly.